learners. We're talking about Module 6, and let me just show you. This week it's slightly different. So you know how usually in our discussions it just says to refer to, like in the discussion rubric, it just usually talks about the book. But this week you'll see how it says include at least one scholarly article to support your position. So I'm going to show you how to find those. So go up to Shapiro Library. Go to the Shapiro Library homepage. Go to A to Z database list. Go to P. Scroll down and find Psych Info. This is where all psychologists publish their work. Click on Advanced Search. You want to check off full text. This makes sure that you have access to it from the Shapiro Library and you don't have to wait for an interlibrary loan. And check off peer reviewed. This makes sure that it has survived the peer review process. That's a really rigorous process where experts in the field provide feedback on your article and you refine it to make it even better. Choose abstract here, so over here. So type in your topic, whatever it might be here, and then here, technically, whatever. And then here, you want to check off abstract, and then hit search. Technically, for this, your topic is social media, but once you do find your topic, a couple of things. Like here, it's showing you how to access it. But here, I just want to show you that to easily cite it, you just go to Tools and you click Cite and you grab APA style. And then just note that you want to make sure that this is accurate. I can tell this one is, but sometimes all of these are capitalized, like all of these words. And just note that with APA style, technically that is not the case. Like just sometimes I've noticed that I have to correct this. Like I noticed it even in our book, it's incorrect, our citation in our book, because this just changed in the 6th edition. So all of these are looking fine. But in the 6th edition, you would have capitalized every word here, which is why I think that's why they're messed up sometimes. But anyways, that's how you would cite it. And when you do find an article, I like to view the PDF personally because they all look the same that way. Like see how the abstract is right here. And this is basically all you should have to know for this article. Like at this level, you guys, this is just the summary of the whole article. If you start reading it, it's fine. Like this gives you the background and then the results. Like it's just very, very detailed, which I just don't think that you would necessarily need at this point. This should give you the summary of what you need to know. And essentially the very last couple of sentences should give you the conclusion for what they found. So you would figure out what the conclusion was, and then you would cite using that cite feature. Like it's also right here. You can cite it right there too, APA. And then you just grab, and you would just say Clark et al. Because there's more than 2 authors, and then comma 2025. All right, and then the other thing that needs to be done this week is this. If you go into here, learning modules, and then module 6. The other thing besides your discussion, and of course you always want to, that's you're citing that scholarly article to support your position. And then for your responses to your peers, just make sure that you include, if you look at the discussion rubric, just make sure that you include outside points of view. So in your response posts, see how it says advancement of discussion, and you just want to make sure that they integrate views from other learners and sources. And that can be anything. Like that can be any website, anything. You could use our book. I always find that easier, but for advancement of discussion, it doesn't say that it has to be scholarly. And then for this career paths analysis, you always want to be clicking on the guidelines and rubric because that tells you exactly what you're supposed to be doing. So you want to be finding a job that you could potentially do, and then say how it connects to the emotional intelligence, like these particular emotional intelligence topics. So find a job however you would like to. Here's some suggestions here. You could also go to like Indeed.com and make sure that here, see how it says summarize this job description. And then just make sure that you're citing the job website, whatever it is that you use. And if you're ever in doubt, you can go to the APA, like it's apastyle.apa.org, but it gives you information about how to cite websites, web page on a website. And it would just be like, so say it was Indeed.com, that would be an organizational group author, which would just be Indeed. So it would be like Indeed 2025, comma, the date that it has, and then probably the title of the job, and then include the actual website. And then just make sure that you're doing each of these things. Like make sure that you are also saying which aspects of the job would require self-awareness and self-regulation. Say both of those words so that I don't have to guess whether or not you've made this connection. And then make sure that you identify aspects of the job that would require social awareness, conflict resolution, ethical judgment, and empathy. And if you're in doubt, there's a couple of things. Here's the connections between job tasks and corresponding EI skills. So here's some examples. And another place would be going into your book, and on page 1.6, it talks about each of the skills, self-awareness, all the way down. So that could be like, and then here it gives a description here too. So make sure that you're including this information when you cite the book. Make sure that you're using a Harper, 2025. And that's due by Sunday. And please reach out if you have any questions. I hope you have a good week.